Hello, everybody, and welcome to part one of Paris Reads the Hypernova series, Mystery of Planet Creyenia. The goal of this episode is to provide my book to a wider audience, including those who don't have the current funds to buy my novel. I know that we're all busy living our lives, and it can be difficult at times to set aside our daily tasks to support somebody that feels so out of reach. So I decided to provide these live readings to help spread awareness of my novel and just to kind of have fun while doing it. This is not an audiobook. It's not going to be professionally edited. It's intended to provide an atmospheric reading that feels a lot more personal. Thank you all so much for the support. Lots of love now and always. And if you are interested in checking out my novel, please follow the links in the description below. Stay awesome, guys. Let's get reading. Okay, guys, so we already have the prologue and chapter 1 up on YouTube, so I figured that we don't really need to start there, so we're going to start on chapter 2. Look, it's my book. It's one of my proofs because I sold all of my first edition copies, so yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, there it is. The blurb should be in the description below. But let's just get reading. Let's do this. Hopefully my voice will warm up and I won't sound so gravelly by the time we're done this. So we're on chapter 2, titled, I Have a Strange Family Reunion. Let's do it. As I said, he whispers, I didn't want this meeting to be so abrupt. I don't know what to say. My stomach is still in knots. I take another step away from him. Ron takes a deep breath, opening the car door and closing it behind him. He follows as I hesitantly backpedal onto the sidewalk. My tongue finally unravels from the disbelief of this strange revelation. My brother disappeared years ago. You can't be him. I am, he declares. Just, please, don't spray me with mace again, okay? I ignore his plea. Really? Prove you're my brother. I will. But over a cup of joe. It's freezing out here. In silence, we walk half a block to the Java Coffee Bar, one of the better places in town. It's virtually deserted at this time of day. Heidi, the cute little waitress, comes over, and I see Ron eyeing her appreciatively. What can I get you guys? She asks. Just 2 large coffees and lots of sugar, Ron says. I'll be right back, she says, and heads back to the counter, with Ron's eyes following her all the way. I hear the hiss of the coffee dispenser and, in moments, she returns with 2 steaming mugs and a pile of sugar sachets. When she's gone, and because I'm now convinced that this is Ron, I leave him time to sugar and stir his coffee before I rest my arms on the table. Leaning in, my jaw tightens. I can see my reflection in Ron's eyes. I can't tell what he's thinking, but I assume he's surprised at my measured tones. But he's still Ron, and I know that he cares. Tell me what happened, now that I know that you're Ron, without a doubt. Without a doubt, huh? His shoulders relax, eyes closing. That night, a group of raiders captured me. They go by many names. You can refer to them as space pirates if you want. I want to ask him why they took him and not me, but I'm sure that all of my questions will be answered if I'm patient. These raiders travel across galaxies, committing illegal acts for the highest bidders. The ship that abducted me was traveling to disclosed planets and capturing their native species. I'm struck by the sadness in his eyes. This memory clearly pains him. A disclosed planet, it's like Earth. It's a place that hasn't been deemed worthy to join in on the rest of the expanding universe. The rest of the universe? I repeat in awe. He gazes back outside, but not at the sky or the roads. Beyond that, towards the stars. Earth is still considered an infant planet, not technologically advanced enough to comprehend the wonders that are up in space. Finn, thousands of light years away are millions of planets occupied by species of life incredibly diverse, yet beautifully unique. Ron's eyes are alight with wonder. When he turns back, it infects me. I can vividly imagine what he must see. Millions of planets dancing across the infinite expanse of space. I want to tell him how I feel, but he continues. When they stole me away, I was locked up in a cold cell on a foreign ship alongside scary alien life forms. But I noticed right away that they were as intelligent as you or I, even more so in many cases. But we were all united by one thing. We wanted to escape, and we planned hard to do so. He raises his right hand, giving a sad smile as his finger traces the burn marks along his face. Let's just say our plan backfired. No pun intended. He tries to make light of what emotionally scars him. Nobody else made it out but me, because I was saved. Saved? By who? The Citadel. Who are they? I ask. The Citadel is a confederation of sentient creatures that are the groundwork of law and order in all of the known galaxies. They recruit only the strongest, bravest, and most loyal species from accepted planets to train at one of their 5 outposts. Citadel members are real heroes. They train hard from a young age to learn how to fight, to protect against raiders, scavengers, and thieves. They also try to raise disclosed planets like Earth towards their level of understanding. They can only do that by entrusting members of the resident species to work for them, in secret, to prove their planet's worth. Work? In secret? Oh, I think I'm starting to piece this together. What did they do after they saved you? Ron's chin lifts, a quirky smile on the corner of his mouth. Well, Citadel rules state that if an individual from a disclosed planet encounters any alien life forms, they can never go home. I gasp, shaking my head. Ron tries to hold his smile, but it's fading once more. So, just because you got swept up in this mess of those raiders, you couldn't come home? Ron tries to explain himself. You can't blame the Citadel, Finn. You don't understand. The fabric of the universe balances on the tip of a pin. He gestures to the sky. If our planet discovered the truth of what lies beyond, what do you think we would do? I instantly think about people like Chad Brunstick. I mumble. I don't know. Exactly. After what I saw up there, could you blame me? Blame you for what? I whisper. Ron bites his lower lip. They made me a deal that if I work for them long enough, if I can prove that humans are capable of working with the Citadel, that's when they'll agree to make the Earth a known planet. And boom! He claps his hands together. I'll finally come home. The information Ron has given me is a lot to digest. I put my elbows on the table, setting my chin on the base of my palms, and turn towards the window. Rain still falls, creating puddles in the parking lot. The gentle splashes help me relax, sorting through these new facts. So, the universe is filled with aliens, and you join the space police, I say matter-of-factly. My eyes trail over to his burns, which appear darker under the hanging lights. They won't let you go home until you prove Earth is good enough to join their ranks? Ron's gaze grown stern, his mouth a straight line, jaw tight. I wanted to call, maybe send a message, but I couldn't, he says despondently. I'm so sorry. My heart aches. It's okay, Ron. For the first time, I genuinely smile at him. What do you need me to do? He can't believe what he's hearing. Really? I nod. Mom and Dad, they haven't been the same without you. If I can bring you home, maybe things will be like how they used to be? Wait, what do you mean by how they used to be? I try to read the expression on his face. He looks curious, but a looming sense of sadness lingers around that dejected frown. I know the truth. I won't tell him Mom and Dad don't talk to me anymore. Mom quit her job as a waitress a few months ago. Now she stays at home, puttering over everyday chores, then locking herself in her bedroom. Dad is always traveling abroad, never bothering to say hello or goodbye. We all feel completely disassociated from one another, locked up in our own problems in this big, evil world. I imagine what it's going to be like for Ron to hear all of this, to know that his family is falling apart because of his disappearance. I can't tell Ron we've become a damaged home. It'll break his heart. Instead, I spin the facts into a true-ish statement. Mom works at home now. Dad makes lots of money traveling abroad, so we're kind of spoiled. I'm wrapped up in my studies, so we don't hang out as much as we used to when we were kids. But that's just what happens when you grow up. I shrug like it's no big deal, then smile. We still care about each other, though. It's a little different. Ron's eyes settle. He leans back in his chair, a playful grin on his face as he lets out a heartfelt sigh. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I would hate it if they were upset and couldn't move on. Well, go on then, I give an eager push. Tell me the rest. That's when Heidi returns with the coffee pot and gives us refills. Anything else I can get you? She asks. How about some fries to share? I suggest. She puts the notepad in her apron, looking at Ron curiously before glancing over at me. She nods and heads back to the counter. I turn to Ron, hoping he will finish his narrative. Lately, the Citadel has been landed with a problem. New scavengers and raiders have been appearing all over the galaxy, stealing and attacking known planets, along with the disclosed planets. We need recruits. Worst of all, we've heard rumors of a new mysterious enemy cloaked in darkness. Stories call him, or her, Odium. My logical brain begins searching for a meaning behind the name. Doesn't odium mean hate? The Citadel believes that this dark figure has something to do with the attacks. I sip the hot coffee without sugar or cream. Ron raises an eyebrow. Aren't you a little too young for coffee? I smile. I'm 17, dude. He gives a knowing nod. On top of all that grief, raiders and villains alike are taking keen interest in planets like Earth. More spawns seem to be circulating, sneaking onto planets that haven't been approved by the Citadel. What on earth is a spawn? I ask. Oh, right. Yeah, so imagine it's like a space mosquito. They come from a small group of minor galaxies in the far reaches of space. We suspect that they have become allied somehow with Odium, who has encouraged them to blindly attack any life forms they can get their paws on. It was thought that they acted purely instinctively, but we are seriously concerned now that they've started showing strategic planning, calculated attacks. More proof, perhaps, that they have come under Odium's influence. Wow. So you guys really have your hands full, huh? One more sip of my coffee. He stares at me with a soft grin. I wish I could help, I mutter. His grin explodes. That's why I'm here, Finn. Do you want to join the Citadel? That's chapter 2.